Hello, Erica and
Are you-
Dwayne.
Hello?
Hello? Who's this?
Colorful One.
Would you like to share with us a little more about what you're doing, Colorful One?
Okay. In recent months, I am a teacher. I teach souls to learn the language of ascent, to bring the resonance of the future construct into the now. In recent months, I have been activated more intensely to coalesce my energies with others, and I joined the Gold Ring. I got the beacon that the 6th day is here, and that's when I joined. And what I found was a beautiful symphony of harmonic energies coalescing together, becoming the truth construct of the now, and it's beautiful. In my energy, I find the most beauty in the coming together of opposites, when it begins to blossom. I love when the darkness hits the light. So I find this time in the Gold Ring to be so central to my vibrant self, where I'm at, where I resonate from. So it's just a very poignant time for me.
Yes. It is. I to see that spark into fruition. I think it's what my hallucination of what you're saying is that by having that spark and seeing that ignite is such a beautiful thing, isn't it?
I mean, the passion that we have derives through the understanding of the dark, of the darkness. To the degree that we have darkness is to the degree that we have the energy and passion to coalesce with what is real, what is true, what is light. And you find this in nature with the opposites of flavors. If you want to cook something that's delectable, then you have sweet and sour or hot and cold. The juxtaposition, when two dance or when two date, there are textures of coming to and expanding apart that draw the passion. And so when we begin to process the darkness as truly resonating what is from the perspective of the opposite, and so then we begin to see the light in the darkness. And when we see the light in the darkness, then we no longer have to walk through the darkness to find that passion. And we can dance in the song of the resonance behind the veil, the light of what is. Because we've gleaned what you're talking about today. We've gleaned the essential lesson of unconditional love. See, in our angelic presence behind the veil, before we've come down to the matrix, the duality matrix, that is Earth, then we had love, but it wasn't true love. The language of all that is in the highest frequency. It wasn't it, because the truth was so obvious. It's the only path. It is the only is. And so love is. It's all there is. And so what we stood online to come down to this realm is to experience the passion that draws from without. And so in that way, we have duality and multiplicity of choice, so that when we love, we separate and we choose and we coalesce with that love in all truism. And that is the frequency of all that is, source. So our mission in this duality, there is no wrong move. We're all converging to that higher frequency. We either do it from perspectives of without or do it from perspectives of within. And those that are in perspectives of without, they are enslaved, so to speak, to the baser frequencies of need for control, need for mastery, and helplessness that resonate in fear and anger and lust and jealousy and rejection and abandonment. But those resonances get their energy because they exist because in feeling them, you are resonating the reciprocal energy. By being in those states, you're showing the beauty of the reciprocal. So therefore, it sustains itself in our realm. When we see the light in the darkness and we recognize the poignant sparks of all that is within all, then we free them to the freedom of the song of Behind the Veil. And we recognize them and we usher into them their dignity and grace as angelic sparks of all that is. And therefore they no longer have to travel in frequencies of need and want, but can usher in the freedom of being able to wish, to coalesce and create, to become part of that symphony of creation, which is what this whole journey is all about.
So by simply focusing in and seeing moving beyond what is being presented, and seeing the God within, the Christ within, the angel within, even the dark.
I don't say see beyond it. I don't see beyond it. I say witness where the energy derives. In other words, the sustainability in our realm derives because it's being sustained by all that is. And the reason why it's being sustained by all that is because it's really a benevolent path as well. You know, there's an ancient saying that the angel of death is also the devil, and the devil that is the angel of death, is as well your evil urges. They're all the one same source energy, and that the same time, while it beckons you to destruction, it roots for you not to give in. This is a very ancient idea that it's an energy that was created, a matrix, and it roots for your dignity and grace just as much of every other aspect in creation. That resonance, that consciousness. It does not want you to fall to the facade of gradients, fractions of self. It wants you to learn the grandeur and grace of self as spark of all. And so the blind man, he learns in one of two ways. He either learns the path by smacking into enough walls and learning the path from pain, or he learns to develop his other senses, to learn the path, the straight path, the short path, without pain, without struggle. And in that way, when we discover that all that frustrates are really resonances to help us find within what we have locked out from all that is, then we can ascend in light from the perspective of intimacy. And we do not need to learn from the perspective of without, of the profound life source energy that you are drawing and filtering in through your dimensional body. And so it's much more dangerous, you see, because the intensity of your frequency is far more concentrated, like a laser functions. Light is everywhere, but you are the vehicle that can concentrate the light. So when you misfire or you are misaligned, then what you do is you give a bolstered energy burst of existence to the dark, to what is wrong, to the splintering, to what you perceive as the problem. And so the solution, and I've heard on the radio program before, I've heard people comment about a lot of energy is given to conspiracy theory and the others. And it's a distraction. It's a complete distraction. All in creation are either free or enslaved. the only way those who are enslaved can become free is to learn the language of freedom.